Okay, so in this live stream, we're looking at the relationship dynamic between Gemini and Libra, also the third house and the seventh house. The third house, Gemini's house, governs communication, information technology, and it's where astrologers would look to find information in regard to siblings and the closer interpersonal relationships like neighbors, um, close friends, where the 11th house, which is Aquarius's house, for an example, governs large groups and organizations and the external friendships and acquaintances. Gemini's house, the third house, it governs the closer interpersonal and familia, and as far as relationship dynamics, where astrologer would look. Aside from that, though, it's primarily known for information technology and communication. And the seventh house, Libra's house, governs relationships such as marriages and the committal type of relationships. And the ruling planet of the seventh house is Venus. So you see how there's the love and the beauty, and um, and there's a lot more that it encompasses. But those are the houses that we'll be looking at today to see who will be fighting for your love, Gemini. And so in this live stream, we're going to go through the 12 houses. And before getting into your reading, just as I started moving towards my reading table, this is the song that came to mind. And I'm going to read the lyrics because my voice, plus it's not an easy song to sing, but it is by Beyonce and it's called One Plus One. And I think this is a beautiful song. It says, if I ain't got nothing, I got you. So if I ain't got nothing, I got you. If I ain't got something, I don't give a damn because I got it with you. I don't know much about algebra, but I know 1 plus 1 equals 2. And it's me and it's you. That's all we'll have when the world is through. Because, baby, we ain't got nothing without love. And she goes on to say, darling, you got enough for the both of us. So come on, baby, make love to me. When my days look low, pull me in close and don't let me go. Make love to me. So when the world is at war, let our love heal us all. Right now, baby, make love to me. And then the next verse, it says, hey, I don't know much about guns, but I've been shot by you. And she goes, hey, and I don't know when I'm going to die, but I hope that I'm going to die by you. She says, hey, and I don't know much about fighting, but I know I will fight for you. Hey, and just when I ball up my fist, I realize that I'm laying right next to you, baby. We ain't got nothing but love. And darling, you got enough for the both of us. Ooh, make love to me. When my days look low, pull me in close and don't let me go. Make love to me. So when the world's at war, let our love heal us all. Help me let down my guard. Make love to me. And that's the song that came to mind as I'm moving into this reading of Gemini and Libra, the third house and the seventh house, looking to see how your person, as we move through the houses, will show up to fight for your love, Gemini. So the first part was completed yesterday, and I went through the first house through the second house, from the first house through the second house. This second part here, we're going to start in the seventh house, which is Libra. The 8th house, Scorpio. 9th house, Sagittarius. 10th house, Capricorn. 11th house, Aquarius. And the 12th house is the final house. This is Pisces house. Okay, so starting with Libra. Okay, so Gemini, this is your reading, and we're going to look at Libra's energy. And when I start picking up neutral energy, it indicates that there's high likelihood that this is a twin flame soulmate connection. All right, so starting in the 7th house, I'm going, oh, look, I was going to get into a shuffle, right? This deck already has resonance in it for Gemini. And whenever I get my apprentice on the top of my deck, though, that signals to me that actually it's stacked. Let me just double check and see. Okay. Yeah. All right, so this has resonance in it. Let's look for 3 positions first of all. The first position represents past energy. Second position, it represents present energy. And that's future energy. All right, and so yeah, so it's confirmed. I was curious about this one, but the energy on the bottom and top of the deck when I'm done, it confirms that there's some third-party dynamic here. Basically, I'm reading a connection that looks like there's bachelorette energy through and through. So, as far as a disclaimer that this is a general reading, general readings are not intended to resonate with everyone. This particular connection is one that comes in with bachelorette energy. It's like y'all met just while you were going about your daily routines, your life as usual, had a lot going on. There was an attraction, something caught your attention about them. And so it looks like you're still in a getting to know each other phase and are attracted by the way you make each other feel. So this connection also does tend to have some mutual energy. So it feels like there's something very significant about your connection. For the fact, how you meet somebody and there's something there, but you're still in the getting to know each other phase. All right, so that's one relationship dynamic. How your person shows up to fight for your love, it feels like there's underlying knowing that this is a special connection, but you're still getting to know each other. I also do feel like there's other storylines here, especially when I went to clarify this card. This is my bachelorette card. So there's other storylines here. Another storyline is that, of course, you've met. It looks like you're either coming in after a period of knowing each other. It definitely looks like you've known each other already, but you could have just met and things just flowed and got off the ground immediately, and it just continues to get stronger and stronger. Still, I'm feeling the mutual energy between each other. Let's see. There's a relationship dynamic that is flowing and there's something special about it, but there's also religious factors that keep it from getting closer at the moment while you're getting to know each other. Additional information about how come it's sustaining at a flow where you're not getting that close together, but I am getting a clarifier that it's still true love. So the passion, the connection, the chemistry, the attraction, true love keeps coming up. And also this, you deserve love. So somebody wants to love. They find that there's love endearing in this connection, but there's some religious factors that keep it sustained as at a distance, some hesitancy to get closer because of belief systems. When I get that religious factor card, it's like a religion, for real, for real. It's either a religion, but it could also be some strong, hardwired philosophical perspectives, like the way that you think, the way that you or your person thinks about a certain thing. In that case, because it is Gemini's reading and we're looking at Libra's energy, it would be Libra. So the next thing, I'm going to continue to develop this spread by putting it in a Celtic cross. Libra, 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 Libra. Libra, Libra, Libra. So yeah, I'm getting a confirmation about, and also reminded about the disclaimer that when I feel mutual energy, there's likelihood of twin flame soulmate connection. So in this case, although in this dream mostly it's going to be your person's energy here, but it's mutual, but it's pointing to Libra having the religious ideas or the strong mindset, the strong value system, and it could be overbearing to your person. Okay, and then here comes our Three of Pentacle card flying out of the deck, which would put it into a reverse position. So for example, you know, for those who have religious factors playing into it, tend to have a strong perspective in regard to third-party situations. So that card flying off the table, putting it into a reverse. Oh, but it goes over here. That's where it goes. That was my fourth. So let's see how it goes. Okay. Okay. Yep, so that's giving more context. This third party situation became something like a deal breaker. You know, it created an impasse in this connection. And now we're getting the moon and we're getting the Wheel of Fortune here. So it really, and again, how it flew out of the deck lets me know that there's so much energy here in regard to the Three of Pentacles. And it also indicates that somebody started to dismiss their third party situation in hopes to pay attention to this connection more. But their person, Gemini, seems to still potentially have a third party type of situation. So now we have this bachelor, bachelorette energy in a challenge position. Now I'm looking at the next challenge here is the 7th placement I'm looking for. All right, and this is technically Gemini's card coming out in a reversed position in the challenge. Nine of Swords, 10 of Swords coming out in that sequential order in a deck that's not stacked is not coincidental. Alright, looks like it initiates a new chapter with the world, a new chapter with life lessons being learned. Let's see. All right, and it implies that this connection is not broken, but there's a distance. Now it's starting to pick up the distance with the Page of Swords in reverse. looking like there's no communication taking place. There's distance. Your person is taking their time coming back to you. With the temperance here, that's the universal energy of the distance, and your person being in tune, paying attention to their spiritual instincts, intuitions. This moon card here also crowning the reading. Yeah, like your person has a strong inner knowing that something is off in regard to the third party situation. They gave up their third party type of situations and they're focusing on this connection. But let me continue to read about the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you see here the Four of Swords is the no communication because of the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, that brings me back to the top, which closes it out for me. So let me look at this Page of Swords in reverse. Not really feeling too much there, other than it is the Page of Swords and everything said about it. The next one is look here, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Fire, Ace of Fire. It also does state that your person, let's see, this would be technically Libra's energy, but as I said, I'm picking up neutral. But it looks like they're also more concerned about work than career. With the Queen of Pentacles showing up, that points to the 10th house that deals with career. But it also goes back to what was being stated, religious factors. And this being the 7th house, which governs marriages, is very important for appearances, for status, rules, regulations, religious type energy. So this is having a very strong mind about these things. Wheel of Fortune, what's happening here? Nope, not feeling anything there. The life lessons. The spin cycle. Man. Well, it looks like at the moment, how your lover will show up to fight for you is by dealing with their inner hardware, their inner perspectives. In regard to relationships, this is a test of time for them to go through that dynamic that really tries them about what they are standing on as far as their value systems and their belief systems, and what this relationship and their desire to be with you means to them. It looks like this is a reading that we'll want to come back to and get some more information to see how it updates, to see what happens next. But I feel like the 7th house in this context is one that an astrologer can read to get more information about no contact connections. We're going to look ahead in the 8th house, which is Scorpio's house. Thank you, God. All right. Again, with the 3 positions, looking for my first placement for Scorpio and Gemini. 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 All right. at the moment. In this connection, I'm picking up also a hint of third-party situation, bringing the connection to a pause. There's heartbreak. Let me look here at the Three of Swords. Queen of Pentacles again. Seven of Fire. Ten of Swords. Four of Pentacles, clarifying. Four of Fire. Ten of Swords. All right. So again, there's a lot of distraction. As your person is at a distance from you with the Queen of Pentacles, which points to the 10th house, the house of career, and also the house that points to the structure, philosophical perspectives, status, rules, regulations. So there's dissonance in the connection, accepting third-party situations. However, there's indication that this particular connection is one that had a love at first sight dynamic. Things moved pretty fast, pretty quickly. So it looks like there's a high likelihood that in this connection, those boundaries were not established. Pay attention to the red flags. Playfulness. Pay attention to the red flags. So I feel like that's confirmed, seeing playfulness, but pay attention to the red flags. That you guys caught intense attraction initially. However, in this particular storyline, it's not intended to resonate with everyone. This would be a detail that lets you know if it's your story or not. That there was not established boundaries, but there were expected boundaries. And these boundaries that were expected either came up just as a byproduct, a natural byproduct, like, dang, I didn't even know I was feeling Gemini like that, for example, but all of a sudden at the thought of them being with somebody else, I'm feeling a type way. As the connection progresses, it's one that looks like there's a mutual attraction between the two of you. It looks like you both want to be there with each other. It looks like I'm picking up the mutual energy that they don't really feel comfortable thinking about you with anybody else, just as much as you don't feel comfortable thinking about them with someone else. That's mutual between the two of you, indicated in the Seven of Fire for me. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That you're both bachelors, bachelorettes, didn't really define your connection status, but you're feeling it. And so although you're open and it's within your right to explore your options, it looks like at the moment this is a highlighted connection that they don't want to go out of. Okay, you're like they don't want to go out of. Mic check. I'm just now tuning into the live. All right, so let's put this in the Celtic cross to pick up some more information. Okay, and I just got additional information about the Queen of Pentacles showing up, pointing to the 10th house, like the work, the careers, the expectation, which created the violation and the boundaries, even though not openly discussed in many cases in this storyline, but felt as explained and described throughout. The Queen of Pentacles also governs that type of energy, like, hey, I want a connection that has sustainability, that has a foundation, the playfulness interfering with the red flags, like, indication that at least one of you wants to take things more serious. All right. So what I'm looking at in this reading here is that everything that I stated, it came out in the spread. There was, here it also indicates that there was a delay, there was a pause in your connection. Walls went up. Walls went up, protecting, especially on Scorpio's side, protecting their energy, protecting their heart space, you know, just governing what goes in and what goes out. The strong mindset, which, you know, we talked about in regard to the philosophical hardwired value systems coming to fruition when Scorpio realized what this connection means and where they wanted to go. Looks like it created some dissonance here, challenges in regard to coming back together, because, you know, as I like to explain, what I see in the Four of Fire is someone being able to be stable, balanced, healthy within themselves, so they bring that quality to connections with others, and together they have stability. And it's also a meetup at their house, like wanting to spend time at you know, but this more so looks like cohabitating, spending time at each other's house, you know, and potentially moving in. So it seems that I'm picking up there is a lot more. Oh, it reminds me again, I'm in the 8th house. So yeah, 8th house energy. Yeah, as far as resources are concerned, it's shared resource. The 8th house deals with shared resources. So it's not surprising to see a desire to cohabitate, to pull resources together, um, wondering about these things. Anyhow, moving on to the spread though, it does look like we're leading up to reconciliation. It looks like we're leading up to time you'll spend together. Your person is coming towards you, Scorpio. So how is Scorpio showing up to fight for Gemini's love? It looks like Scorpio is standing firm on what they want in this connection. And it looks like they're waiting for Gemini to come towards them. This is Scorpio's energy, literally the King of Cups. And this here is the Knight of Fire. So it looks like the passion from your person, Gemini, dear Scorpio, coming towards you when the timing is right, when things fall into alignment. It looks like I would like to clarify the energy to see what else is saying, but here's our judgment energy too that generally describes reconciliations for me, but also it's the judgment card. So we're looking at a lot of life lessons, a lot of realizations being had, and it looks like they're coming to the forefront just by the way this person makes you feel. Let's look here at I always need to look at the Magician. Generally, it's just, like I said, things coming into synchronicity, coming into alignment when the timing is right. Let's see, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Magician. Okay, so yeah, the Three of Swords, which is this card right here. I feel like that's a confirmation because this placement represents the challenge. This is the thesis statement and this is the challenge. The Three of Swords. So when timing comes into alignment, because it looks like these Three of Swords has obviously created some dissonance and a pause as had been described here, boundaries, walls going up. But as those walls start to come down, as those boundaries begin to, our person begins to reevaluate, then it looks like the timing will come into alignment for your person to feel inspired to come towards you. And let's see, and to see what the outcome in this judgment will be. Let's take a look there with that information. Look at the judgment card closer. Okay, you see there? That's the King of Swords, so that's Gemini's energy. So yeah, I was feeling it. Your Gemini will be coming towards you, Scorpio. Also, the King of Swords is the energy that talks about having that clear moment, a moment of clarity, also knowing where they stand and what they're going to do. The King of Swords knows what he wants, although it's energy specific, not gender specific, but the King of Swords knows what he wants and knows how to go about getting it. It points me to, let's look over here, but it was pointing me to over here with the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is overbearing, pushy type energy. The King of Swords is having clarity. Either going to agree with this pushy mentality or push back against it. But looking here at the Four of Fire. Four of Fire. Six of Swords. Moving out of the toxic situation into a better situation. So confirming that toxicity has created a delay for meeting up, and also, you know, the toxicity, the boundaries, the walls that have gone up creates a delay in meeting up again at the capacity of cohabitation, spending time at each other's house, maybe having some stuff over their house, they have some things over your house. At the moment, that creates some toxicity for reasons explained. Is there anything else? Five of Fire. Feeling left out in the cold, weathering the world on your own. So for me, it points back to the 8th house, governing aspects such as cohabitation and/or shared resources, pulling together. This is indicating, because another thing going into these Three of Swords, let alone a third party type of situation, and the disappointments described, but it looks like there's likelihood that our person is kind of struggling on their own. So, you know, let me look here a little more. Three of Swords. Reminding me to stack the deck again. Thank you. Three of Swords. Ten of Swords. Right, the Ten of Swords confirms, and it reminds me, yes, there's a lot more than just the third party broken heart type of situation. There's a lot going on with the Ten of Swords within our person, Scorpio. There's a lot more, which is implied by unspoken expectations leading to the heartbreak, starting off with a flirtatious height, chemistry, connection, realizing, oh my God, this is such a dynamic person, what this person brings to me, my connection, and starting to explore other needs and desires. The Nine of Pentacles here and the Three of Swords, clarifying the Three of Swords. All right, for that Nine of Pentacles, I feel like, yes, your person is taking some time, Gemini, to sort these things out within themselves. And so that also lets me know that your person has a high sense of value within themselves. They know that they're good, you know, dating material in any relationship, and they want to make sure that they maintain that quality within themselves. So that was highlighted in the Three of Swords energy as well. That's what I have so far. So overall, how is Scorpio showing up to fight for your love? It looks like, first of all, to fight for themselves, to salvage themselves, to make sure that their quality that is intact, their confidence is intact, regardless of this connection, but for any connection. And also taking time to heal themselves and waiting for you to fight for their love as well, waiting for you to show up and show them if you really do feel the same way, if you want to move your connection higher, if you miss them in their absence. That's what I'm picking up for Gemini in the 8th house, aka Scorpio's house. Now let's look at Gemini connections with Sagittarius. Hey everybody in the chat, thank you so much for your support on the video and on the channel. We'll start out looking for our 3 positions. Alright, it's giving that you guys have been together for a minute in this one, but let's see. Right, you guys see that? I always laugh when that happens. That's the Page of Pentacles. But yeah, it's giving that you guys have been together for a minute. And so the card that lands on the table representing previous energy is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So it feels like you guys have been together for a while and the connection has started to evolve to a higher level of commitment. All right, let's get more information. Oh, it reminds me of the disclaimer. This is a reading that won't resonate with everyone. It's not intended to because it's general. But I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. So don't force it. Okay, you see here the 2 of Cups. All right, that's good. We're looking for our 3rd position now. Woo! Okay. All right. Let me see what this is. Oh, so it's the Strength card that comes into a neutral orientation with the 3 of Cups. So this connection comes in the reading as I continue to repeat. This looks like a very strong connection that's progressing, and there's love. Now the Celtic cross, I really could just move forward because it was a straightforward reading actually, and yeah. I like to do the Celtic cross when there's more information I want to glean, but this one is so straightforward. It looks like Gemini and Sagittarius connections are moving pretty good in this reading. You show up to fight for each other's love. You're presently available and each other's love right now. That's what I'm picking up for Gemini and Sagittarius. So with that, we can move to our 10th house, which is looking at Gemini and Capricorn. You know what? Capricorn energy has been making a lot of appearances in Gemini's reading so far. So here we are at the 10th house, Capricorn's house. Let's take a look and see what's going on. All right, let's see. I'm looking for our 1st position here. You got it. Yo, that was a crazy cackle for the Devil card that came out. That's literally Capricorn's card, man. That's crazy. All right, let's take a look. We'll keep going. Capricorn, it didn't even take long for Capricorn to come. What's going on? What is going on? What in the world, yo? For sure, man. The 8 of Swords. Yo. I feel tickled for reals. I'm so tickled. I'm ticklish. Okay, let's go. Let's see. What else? 3rd position. Okay, and that's Gemini's card in a neutral orientation. Oh my god. But I have the 16 major arcana, the Tower, and the 9 of Swords. Whew, at the top and bottom of the deck. So it looks stressed. Stress. Man, what's going on? Sheesh. Yeah, but I was tickled because, first of all, the way Capricorn showed up, boom, like right there. And then this 8 of Sword energy, because I was like, man, what's going on? In Capricorn's and Gemini connections, the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is that energy that says to me, like our person of interest is there out of obligation, even if and when it feels uncomfortable. You know what I mean? They haven't let go. Sometimes, I mean, oftentimes actually, in the Eight of Sword energy, it looks like from the outside looking in, especially like, why haven't you let go of that connection yet? Because it's crazy. But it's like, internally, it's like because they have some sort of intrinsic internal conflict or whatever out of their moral obligations, the way that they're hardwired to set up, they let go when they want to let go. They're not ready to let go. But I laugh because I'm like, for sure, because you have been showing up. Your energy has been showing up throughout the readings. Like, boom. And then to see Gemini's energy, the Page of Swords, come out in a neutral orientation. So for me, it's kind of given, let me clarify because I don't want to say, I was going to say kind of like chase energy. Oh, the Jack of Swords is being clarified by the Jack of Swords. Is there anything else? But, I mean, when the card is clarifying itself, or even... No, I feel like there's something else more. The Nine of Pentacles. Four of Fire. Ace. Alright, it brings me back to the top. But yeah, whenever a card is clarified by the card itself, for me, it says it is there because of what that card means. Everything that it embodies. Like, it is what it is. It says what it says in the card. It did also give Nine of Pentacles and Four of Fire, but for those embodiments, was letting me know that there's some overwhelmed energy that doesn't necessarily, like, basically having a neutral orientation flows better in this connection. It's what Gemini feels comfortable with is what matters. You know, just kind of flowing, ready to respond as needed when needed, not being locked in any particular arrangement, position, or stance is not flowing for Gemini, but to be able to respond, to react in the way they feel best at the time. So they're neutral, and I feel like that energy is coming up consistently everywhere. It creates a sense of obsession with Gemini in a way because it's, you know, Capricorn energy, the Saturn energy, the Devil, the 15 major arcana energy is about status and rules and regulations and boundaries. So kind of chasing after Gemini, like, there's a boundary, there's a status quo, there's rules, there's regulations and violations, and, you know, creating toxicity. Like, let's see, I wonder, I'm not sure off the top. Oh, so you see here the Tower and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, it's like somebody not getting their way and not satisfied about not getting their way, not being able to control Gemini. That's one of the challenging part for any earth and air sign dynamic, usually, depending on their natal chart. But I want to look here and see, do I have that information here? Also, at the moment, I'm pretty sure that Mars is currently in Gemini. Gemini's current. Let's see. Let me double check that. So a Tower is Mars energy. Let me see. I'm looking to see the energy that is out of fall in certain houses. Mm. Looks like I'm taking too long here to do it. Let's see, dignities. Elemental dignities. Yeah, it's the dignities. I'm gonna have to look it up. Thank you for your patience. I'm very curious. Gotta do that. Let's see. Is Gemini dignified? Oh, let's see. And Saturn. Let's see. Saturn is not traditionally dignified in Gemini. Saturn's home signs are Capricorn and Aquarius, and it is exalted in Libra in traditional astrology. Saturn in Gemini is considered neutral, having no essential dignity or debility unless occupying specific minor degrees like bounds, meaning it blends Saturn's structure with Gemini's airy, mercurial energy without special strength. Yo, did you see that? That is so interesting. Yeah, I had to read about it. So, wow. And so that confirms it. Remember when I said I clarified it and it clarified it by itself? This card was clarified with its own card when I was clarifying it. And then there were certain sentiments that pointed to this is how they feel most comfortable. This is how they're in their element. It's very difficult to try and control air energy, Gemini energy. What else did I want to look at? Oh, the current planetary positions. I believe Mars is currently in Gemini. For me, it says too that if the connection is having such dissonance, don't necessarily take it all personal, because there's major arcanas at play. There's major arcana at work. Let's see, current planet positions. So let's see. Correct. Mars is currently in Gemini at 17 degrees. So it just entered the second decan of Gemini. All right. So, but because of all of this, it's causing stress in the connection. It's causing stress in the connection. It gives even more, it gives even more understanding for me to see the Eight of Swords here now, that I'm holding on out of obligation, even if and when it looks uncomfortable, because this is my person. Yeah, just because there are highs or there's lows in my connection, I'm not letting go just because we're going through something. Yeah. So off the top, it's how is Capricorn fighting for your love, Gemini? By not letting go. Let's see what else. We're holding on. Let's continue. I feel like I'm gonna cool, because I was wanting an additional card over here, but it's not saying, it's not in a reverse. It was kind of just to be sure. King of Swords and the King of Cups. Mm. This looks like the type of connection that is bringing about some life lessons at the moment. Capricorn's card right there. Three of Pentacle energy here. Ace of Pentacles. So it looks like things will work itself out, you guys, if you find yourself at a distance. Oh yeah, speaking of, there's the Six of Swords and the Justice. Yes. Yep. It feels like you guys will work this out, especially as things just start to settle down. And also, it feels like one of the um, aspects, generally speaking, like to summarize it, that's pushing you guys away at the moment. It feels like it's control issues. But let me see what's going on. And not to say, I mean, I'm not putting judgment there about the control issues, because maybe that's what's working. True love, chemistry. You see, there's stronger things about your connection that holds it together. But also pay attention to the red flags. Like the, you know, I would have to say I can't offer advice on your relationship. I'm on the outside looking in, because I feel like you know what makes your connection work or not. I think the advice here that's being illustrated is to watch your person, how they respond to you, and see if there's a way you can help them feel more comfortable. At the moment, it looks like they're responding in a way that keeps them stable, that keeps them able to not fall into depression, not fall into despair themselves, not fall into insanity, having to question themselves. But true love is here. And also, I feel like your person doesn't want to be played for a stupid fool either. So you're going through it, is what it looks like. But for the reading, for the connection I'm reading for, it says that you guys have what it takes to survive your ups and downs right now. Oh yeah, not only is Mars in Gemini right now, but also Mercury's been retrograded for a minute too. I heard that we're just getting out of the retrograde. I haven't double checked that, but recently. So could be a return to some normalcy soon, hopefully. We're gonna move now to look. And also, before leaving off that reading, the 10th house again is one that governs work and career, rules, regulations, etc., etc. So even I would say, like Gemini, even if you may find yourself having a little challenges with like maybe authority trying to just really watch, and you just might feel like they're on your back a lot. But I feel like this reading encourages you and also honors you in a type of way to say, wow, you're very impervious to this type of change. You're impervious to these type of challenges, the way that you're fluidly flowing with the ups and the downs, the dynamic twists and turns. You feel like it just, your gut feeling tells you the best position to have. It also seems like Gemini is maybe more quiet, not speaking as much, and just showing up and doing what's needed to do to hold on through this rocky moment, to see themselves through to the end. Yeah, so it looks like you both are holding on, actually. You're both holding on, you're both showing up in your connection. And I feel like it's a learning curve as you learn each other more throughout this dynamic, and you realize how valuable you are to each other. That's what I'm looking at in the 10th house. And now we're going to go ahead and move into the 11th house, which is Aquarius's house. And Aquarius also governs the world stage. We talked about that a little bit in the third house, because the third house, Gemini's house, it governs more of the closer relationships that we have, like neighbors, siblings, and those who are closest. They're the lovers. Actually, Gemini governs the the lovers card in tarot, and Aquarius is governing more large groups and organizations. I like to call it the world stage. That's where an astrologer will look to see what's going on, like in politics, for an example, and in large groups, as described. So let's see what else. And of course, we're looking at Aquarius's energy. This is Gemini's reading. So let's see how Aquarians show up to fight for your love. Gemini, Aquarius, Gemini, Aquarius, Gemini, Aquarius, Gemini, Aquarius. I'm seeing some energy. It was not organized energy. 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups. It's interesting to see sequential order in a deck that's been thoroughly shuffled. 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups. But yeah, it kind of feels like this connection at the moment is at a distance. Yeah, I'm seeing the 2 of Pentacles there, confirming also entertaining others. There's a Tower. Something might have happened. So I'm reminded of the disclaimer that this reading is not intended to resonate with everyone. This particular connection, it looks like, is at a distance from one another. And yeah, that there could have been a breakup. It looks like this connection also, there was a breakup. It looks like, yeah, there's some sort of breakup. It looks like the breakup also had to do with obstructive interference. Obstructive interference. It almost looks like something that you may have dealt with before. Yeah, it looks like a pattern that has repeated itself. Another thing is that it looks like you may have gotten together during a stressful time anyway. And it looks like there was some communication leading up to the breakup. All right. So it's kind of unsure. There's some uncertainty about where you stand in this connection at the moment, which I would bring the curiosity to get, like, to look at a reading and say, yeah, what is going on with our connection? Because, and it also looks like this part, I mean, all of it, take it with a grain of salt, because it looks like, too, that someone was being held to a standard, like, for example, about the juggling, or you have somebody, but then also it all looks like, but you have somebody too type energy. I have someone, you have someone too. There's some communication there. Let me see. So that's a part you guys can dismiss, because that's a lot. Like, that's very specific. That's very specific. But the reason why I said that, though, it's like right here, the communication around the 2 of Pentacles leads up to this Tower. And then there's the 9 of Swords. Kind of, it feels like it's a little bit embarrassing, painful, it's devastating. But then, indeed, I see the 7 of Fire, which is Bachelor, Bachelorette energy. So it almost looks like we're both out there. Like, I have third party situation things, but so do you. I don't know, guys. That's one thing that was being stated, and then another thing is it feels like a pattern repeated itself. Uh, let's see, what is in the moon? Six of Swords. What's in this moon? So it's like there's some uncertainty, like, what is going on with my person? What is going on in our connection? It looks like there's some space between the two of you to heal and to just move out of the toxicity and have a moment of chill. Let's look at the Tower with that being stated. Three of Swords. Okay, so yeah, it's like the juggling. See how I was saying this? Something about this juggling seemed to have led up to this Tower and the communication of such. Let's see. Let me look into these Two of Pentacles. I mean, of course, also with the Two of Pentacles, it doesn't always point to a third party situation. It could be juggling different life circumstances, you know, having a lot going on in life. And that sometimes contributes to third party obstructive interferences too, because it's like having not enough time for the connection type energy. But let's clarify. Yeah, you see here, Six of Swords. I feel like that Six of Sword energy, that's what we had in this moon, you know? So yeah, it's like a big encompassing. It's not one thing specifically. Like, it's not only third party situation. Yeah, it's deeper than that. So whatever it was, it's like, oh, you're doing this and you're doing that. Then your person coming back and saying, but you're doing this and you're doing that type energy potentially is one thing. But yeah, because it gets too deep. And like how I said, it's really interesting going back to the fact that we're looking at the 11th house, the world stage type energy, you know, like Aquarians. And Aquarians do typically also have large networks, you know. They're networking people, business people, enterprising people. They usually have a lot of family, close family, extended family. The 11th house and then the third house also deals with collectives of people, more so on a, we talked about it on a more personal, closer level. So there's some dynamic about, well, you can see how that could be obstructive. Okay, guys, but just wanted to look there because definitely don't want to take too much time because I want to spend time giving you a spread. But there was intense energy in that area, so I wanted to look at it. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so let's give it a shuffle here. Let's give ourselves a hard shuffle. Looking at the Four of Swords and the Three of Cups. Oh my. See, I'd be expecting to, some things I'd be expecting to do, and it's like, no, you're not gonna do a hard shuffle. The deck is as it's supposed to be. You're gonna read this. Oh, well. Okay. Well, this off the top is describing, you know, that in the past a lot was going on. Knight of Fire. Currently, things have come to more of a pause. Could be no contact. But this is a meditative energy, prayer energy, strategies being, you know, plans being developed. And then we're looking at some clarity after taking the time to go within oneself and get your own clarity, having this profound eureka moment Let's see here. We have the Ace of Swords. I'm skipping past all of this. This is past energy, and probably will be pulled back to look there. But I want to see where it's headed in the near future. So the Ace of Swords. Let me see if this is in the shot. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Two of Swords. Temperance, Nine of Pentacles. Empress, Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Pentacles. Hangman, Ace of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Two of Fire, Queen of Pentacles, Five. Alright, so yeah, it just looks like, yep, indeed, some time was taken for oneself to move how you need to move. It really looks like you both, and it seems like you both would know that about each other. You need to move how you need to move to get done what you need to get done. And that's what I'm seeing you do. You realize that. And so, and you realize too that you're doing very good on your own. You don't need anybody telling you what to do at all. You're very abundant. You're very successful. And it almost feels like too, intuitively, you know that there's also a heal coming. There's challenges coming. There are deadlines that you need to meet and be prepared for. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's the spin cycle card that you're prepared to go through. So you're taking time to yourself to make sure that you make it through the spin cycle successfully. When we put this energy through the spin cycle, you come out with the Ten of Pentacles, which is the greatest abundance, and then Hangman energy as well. So just following the leading and the guidance of the Most High and your intuition, your own governance, and your own discipline, you know what you're doing. And you come out abundant when it's time, when things come into its proper alignment, and also with the networks that you have. So somebody might have had a problem with somebody in your network. I don't know what that detail was about, but with the network that you have, you're coming out as you're supposed to, and as you seem that you're capable to do. So it looks like you hit your milestones, you hit your deadlines, you come out successful. Then when it's time and when you've handled all those challenges, your mind goes back to your person, and you see that they too are still single, available as you are, as had been described and illustrated, and there's still love there. The Ace of Cups, there is a desire to come towards you. There's also unfinished business, and that Three of Sword energy makes its appearance and reminds us, yes, there's still some issues though. So there's like some wishy-washy, like your person definitely has you in their heart, but if they feel, it looks like they don't necessarily feel like they can approach you in any type of way because of the last dynamic that you had together that was not so positive. Looks like your person isn't really sure how to approach you or how to try to break the ice. And also, they're reminded that not only did you have strong opinions about the way things, whatever it was that you discussed, but so did they, and so do they. So did they, so do they. And also the proof was in the pudding, like, and I had to do what I did the way that I did to get what I got off, and I'm successful. I mean, I got my goal, I had to do it that way. So, but that's just describing a mutual desire to come back together, a mutual desire to reconcile, but then not being sure how to overcome the obstacles, not feeling like maybe their presence is welcome, and also thinking about it like, how would I approach processing it that might end up going like XYZ, and just ended up continuing to move on. Okay, so I do want to, so yeah, with all that being said, I think that's the most important thing to look at, this position, because I do want to get into a deep shuffle and see if there's anything else. Whew. But I did see some interesting stuff here. During this pause, Three of Cup, Nine of Cup, Page of Cup, Queen of Cup, Ace of Fire, Three of Fire, Hermit, Ten of Cups, Knight of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Eighth Major Arcana in reverse. And then the Page of Swords, Justice, Eight of Swords, Hierophant, 15 Major Arcana, 5 of Cup, Chariot. So that even gives another storyline, some more details that I am looking at a third party dynamic that is offensive to Aquarius. I'm picking up some mutual energy though, so indicating that this has a high likelihood of having twin flame soulmate energy too. But this is Gemini's reading to see how the Aquarian is moving, to check out Aquarius's energy. So we'll say this is Aquarius's energy, taking a moment to pause, to maintain balance, and having their third party situations, whatever it was that was offensive to Gemini, or I feel like my words are not, like you might say offensive. I wasn't offended. I don't know. But however you're tapping into your networks, and it's, you know, Nine of Cup energy, Page of Cup energy, Queen of Cup energy, Ace of Fire. It's the dynamic, it's the chemistry that Aquarius needed. It does look like it's low key, like not a connection that Aquarius is tapping into that's public. You know, it's kind of just low key, but it is bringing the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Six of Pentacles. So it seems to be giving all the qualities that Aquarius needs. Reciprocity, the Ten of Cups, the heightened pleasure. The Death card came out into reversal. For me, it implies that there was no change. There was a lot of acceptance in this connection. They didn't have to go out of their way to make any type of changes. Then there's Page of Swords, that's Gemini's energy, stepping in with the Justice and the Eight of Swords and the Hierophant and the, you know, the Devil card. So it seems to suggest in this dynamic, Gemini wants to lock in with Aquarius, and that they're holding on in the Eight of Swords with the mentality that they will be able to lock in that capacity. They're like coming up with obsessive energy towards Aquarius, and they're really sad and disappointed that things aren't getting off the ground as they wanted to. It shows that Gemini may have made an attempt to reach out and come towards Aquarius again during this no contact energy, and found it toxic. There may have been an argument, you know, a block taking place, and came to their breaking point. So let's see. And it does describe that while they're going through their breaking point, they're also focusing on their own plans, objectives, careers, their money, their enterprises, and that work is keeping them busy from tapping back into this connection. It also shows that they're abundant in their pursuits and endeavors. You both are very intelligent and savvy. It looks like you're pretty good making money type energies, being successful in your plans. So, and it looks like they embark in a new chapter, moving in a different direction, and they too have a love that's not a public love. It could be a sneaky link type energy. So the mirroring that, like whatever type of dynamic you have going on, Aquarius, so does Gemini. Low-key tap back into it. For some reason, well, I was about to say for some reason they tap back in with the Seven of Swords energy, but then I'm reminded, well, there's only one card of each in the deck, and these cards have to appear as they appear when they appear. So how did it appear when it was Aquarius? Well, also, yeah, in the Hermit. This time it's the Seven of Swords. Okay, the Lovers, the Star, the wish fulfillment, King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Four of Fire, and Queen of Fire. So yeah, they tap into a connection where, you know, they're finding harmony. And let's see. And then they reflect back over to Aquarius and want to come back to Aquarius, and all the things that we described here. Aquarius is successful and their endeavors too. You guys both come back up in the scene looking single with the Five of Pentacles. Now, do you both actually look single? It looks like Aquarius's energy is single. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, no, you both come up with having your own connections. Three of Pentacles there. So, in the past, even further back, let's see, it looked like a perfect time for y'all to reconcile. That's what I'm picking up. Yep, looks like it was perfect for y'all to come back together. Oh, why am I saying it? The Magician and the Justice. Those two major corrections, the Judgment, the Reconciliation, and the Magician. For me, that's everything coming into alignment. Then the Knight of Fire. So yeah, you guys meet up, come back together, make contact, and it looks like the timing is perfect. Communication and the Eight of Fire is established. It looks like while it was a perfect time to come back together, one of you, it looks like, because this is Gemini's reading for Aquarius's energy on the stage, it could be the Aquarian that was kind of disconnected, focused on their own thing. This attempt to reconcile came out of the blue for them, is what it looks like. Now, I'm saying it that way because there's already been detected mutual energy. The energy could go either way. This is a high likelihood to have a twin flame soulmate connection. But we're saying it's Aquarian, who was kind of, it was like came out of nowhere, this reappearance or attempt to reconcile or whatever. It looks like, the Aquarian notices, you know, this, oh, hey, there goes, are you guys buddies? Is there indication that you know each other or that this is new or old? That information is not available. But it's like, oh, hey, what's up? That looks like that engagement was able to kind of basically get their attention. They disengage from their routine energy. This was a new energy, but it does look like there's familiarity. Yeah. Additional information is coming up later here that this could be a familiar connection. You guys know each other. Guys may have been apart from one another, had something to catch up with each other about. And again, that could be a storyline that doesn't fit for everyone, but there's some information that hints to you guys having some familiarity, but also need to catch up. There's also energy here that might suggest, like, is this your baby father, baby mother? It could be, but it almost seems like you could have one of your relationships that you came back around, you know, having their energy. You could have issues going on with the parent of your child, because it almost looks like the energy you come back with, it has the Aquarian. The energy could go either way, or Gemini looking like catching up and hearing something like, whoa, like it looks like it's almost out of their hands. Like, I don't even know how to approach that. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to help you. I don't even know. Yeah. Now, in that situation too, like, I don't know what to do with that, but while you're going through it, it could be too that it was just like, well, one thing leads to another to get some stress off as single bachelorette. And then there was kind of like some regret about that. Please pardon my words if I'm saying stuff a little bit. It's, you know how you get those readings and it's like, oh no, it wasn't quite like that. It looks like there could have been one thing leads to another. And that was kind of sudden and unexpected. But it is what it is. Like, oof, whoa. Kind of like waking up the moment after, the morning after type energy. Like, oof, wow. And then coming to also like, hey, I got other things I gotta do. Like, and I got another lover too type energy. Hey, that's what it looks like back here. Sorry, y'all. That was a rough sketch. Let's see if I can get anything else. Thank you for your patience. Hey guys, thank you for your support on the channel and on the video. Let's see if I can get into a deeper shuffle. All right. But the energies that are on the deck, 6 of Swords, 4 of Swords, again confirming in regard to that connection, the time that you're taking apart is just to get back to yourself and balance your mind, balance your energy, stay focused. And that's what it's also saying too, also moving away from the toxicity. But then at the same time, you're looking at the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. So it's like, while one is moving away to try to sort, you know, get the peace, the balance, to clear the air with their own energy, the other is holding on, and the 8 of Swords, still thinking about it. Let me see. Yeah, it's giving chase too. And I was picking that up, which is interesting too, because I'm like, dang. You know, I bet you the rest of us in the zodiac could be reading this, watching this, and like, dang, so y'all two air signs are chasing each other. Y'all don't chase us, but you're chasing each other, huh? Yeah, this is where we get the chase, y'all. Gemini and Aquarius, huh? No, I'm really joking, guys, for reals, because I have no idea what I'm about to see here. Yeah, do you see how these cards don't let me shuffle like I think I'm about to shuffle? It keeps on breaking apart in the spread. Oh, let me see here. 7 of Swords, Queen of Swords, 6 of Fire, Knight of Pentacles, 4 of Fire, 9 of Fire, Justice, 5 of Swords, 5 of Swords. Yeah, chase your person. And it's a real interesting type of chase that this is. So this is not going to resonate with everybody, but it's like this chase, it's covert. Like, I'm seeing the seven of Swords. Well, that could just mean it's a strategic chase. Your person's trying to come back, trying to figure out how to come back, but it's almost like it's hard to come back. It's hard to come back, or it's like your person is prepared. They know your tactics or something. Fire meets fire type energy. But you see how the 7 of Swords meets the Queen of Swords, like, you know, the 7 of Swords looks like you're trying to come back, trying to be strategic about it, or maybe sneak about it, be coy about it or something, but they already got your card, they already pulled your number. Queen of Swords, there's 1 foot in and there's 1 foot out, so it means, for me, it means that it's mutual still. You both have 1 foot in and 1 foot out the other. It's mutual. So then the Knight of Pentacles come out with the 4 of Fires. It's like, hey, laying the cards on the table. I want you. I need you. You know, the 4 of Fire, come back. You know, type energy. But there's walls up here that say no. There's still boundaries that are going up. And these boundaries here, those boundaries are interesting. But it looks like some sort of a rejection. Let me see what those walls are about. 8 of Swords keeps making an appearance. That's, you know, they're holding on still. I feel like too, those walls with being clarified with the 8 of Swords is more like the walls are up because they are holding on to themselves. They don't want to lose themselves in this dynamic. They're here in the connection, you know, they're feeling you, they have feelings for you, but at the same time it's very important that they maintain who they are and how they go about their business. These walls are going up to maintain their energy. And they're coming up with the Five of Pentacles also, because it feels like there's more to it than that too. Yeah, their walls are up to maintain their energy. It feels like a vulnerability to let the walls down, but if they let the walls down, their whole dynamic, the whole essence of what makes them who they are, and what they have established to survive their own storms on their own. Like, if I'm doing this and I'm moving this way and I'm successful and I've finally come to my niche, I'm holding it down. I got a lot of responsibility. A lot of people are looking up to me. And if I'm to let my walls down and start letting you infiltrate or influence me, what happens if you don't show up? Type energy. I can't even afford to put myself in a situation. And it seems like the person might not even realize that's what they're asking of their person. And it closes it out for me. Oh, and it looks like too, like, it, and if I change and if I do what you're asking me to do, what are you going to do? What I need you to do, you're asking me to do A, B, C. So if I do A, B, C, I need you to do X, Y, Z. Are you going to do X, Y, Z? You know, coming to that sort of impasse. And then it's like, well, shoot. The Queen of Fire makes an appearance here, Six of Swords. So, you know, there could be another passionate moment, because it's like, one thing for sure. Let me go ahead and look that up before I start daydreaming about stuff that I'm just like, this is a hot connection. I know one thing y'all got in common. Then you see the Queen of Fire coming. I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on. Let's see why the Queen of Fire is there. It's six of Pentacles. Okay. The Holy Spirit's keeping it clean. Keep it PG, girl. Don't be saying stuff that you don't. But that could be, but then also it could just be a kiss on the cheek. Like, all right, see you later. Love you, bye. I got to go. Let me see. Wedding. Attraction. True love. Separation. That's what it looked like. Love you. I gotta go. Well, for some, that's only a select few in the connection, because for some others, there could be a marriage already. It looked like there was some fighting too. Like, they're not letting you go that easy. Like, where do you think you're going that easy? Could have been some fighting. I think there was a little bit of some love, some romantics, then later bye. Then where the hell do you think you're going? I don't know. And was that expressed? There could have been, you know, sometimes you say things that you don't mean. Like, why did you say that when really you just want to love them? But anyways, there's some sort of block that came up. They could have just maybe not even said anything. They could have played it coy. But there's some block there. You see the person trying to settle their mind in the Four of Swords, and then you have the dynamic lover card make an appearance here with the Eight of Swords. They're locked in. The Three of Cups, Ace of Swords, the Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Devil card, the Two of Fire, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so some obsessive energy. Also, it looks like there's another love interest that your person can kind of numb their senses, numb the heartache, numb the disappointment they have. With you, Queen of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Page of Fire, Five of Cups. Yeah. And we read this information already, so repeat. Hey, I'm trying to shuffle through this, but it looks like this is the energy on the table at the moment. Oh, that's pretty dynamic. So, of course, Gemini would want to know, how in the world is my Aquarius going to show up and fight for my love, darn it. Let's take a look, man. Let's see if we could get that right. Woo. Communication. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see. Six of Cups. Well, looks like there was some communication in the past. And just keep cultivating and developing this spread. The communication in the past. For the connections that already had some history, like it's showing up as a karmic pattern, a karmic partner. It feels like there was some repeated dynamic in the communication that was off-putting to your person, because it was familiar and it could have been a pattern that they're trying to break from. But how did your person show up for the fight for your love? It looks like in spite of that, they were still present. They still tried to hang in there. But it was just throwing a lot of red flags. See, there's the Moon, Queen of Cups, and the Emperor. It's like, okay, what about some of this dynamic has to do with your father, your children's father and or mother, but it's showing up as masculine energy. But I feel like, how is your person showing up to fight for your love? It does say that they love you. They love you. They fight for your love by being there to the best of their ability. It looks like your energy is more persuasive than you think. It looks like the rejection that you've received is not one that you have to take personal, because it was self-preservation. And it looks like that your person checks up on you without you necessarily know that they're checking up on you. We know that you're checking up on them. Looks like you check up on each other. You have love for each other. You have love for each other. There's some distrust. I feel like there's some distrust that keeps the connection from getting off of the ground. We talked about that though too. And also, it's if this part resonates, it looks like one thing is one side have like issues with the other side, but the other side is looking like you have that too. Like, why don't you realize that the same thing you're accusing me of or have a problem with me doing, you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. And that feels like it creates some dissonance in getting things off of the ground too. So it feels like there's a lack of equilibrium when your person is trying to come to you with seriousness, with all seriousness, with love, and the Two of Cups, with the Queen of Pentacles, you know, the foundational serious. I need to move this up to a higher level, you know, and put their money where their mouth is type energy. and they're coming with, you know, abrasive cold. They're being met with abrasive cold and distance, and, you know, secretive, covert movements that they can see, they can feel. Yeah, it's like you're not saying what you mean, meaning what you say. That's what it feels like. Your person, remember, like your person pulled your card. They know, they feel you. They could tell when you're leaving out, when you're omitting information, not giving the whole story. They can tell. Oh, they're really good at catching you in what they call a lie or something that just don't sit well with them. When all along there's dissonance because the person being perceived in the way I just described is being careful with their words, but they're also being sincere. So it feels like they're being misunderstood. Now, this is a new hiccup in your connection right here. I always, I have learned for myself, the retrograde really does affect these things, man. It's crazy how it's like when you're just misunderstood, or just seems like everything you say just it's not it's not coming out right. Man, that darn retrograde, if it's temporary. That's why it looked like there will be an opportunity for y'all to come back together when things come into alignment. But also it felt like there was not, what did they call it? Oh, like they felt like you weren't approachable. Yeah, there goes the not approachable energy, but still being there. Your energy hasn't left. One foot in, one foot out the other, though, but it hurts to be so far apart. It's like, I can't live with you, can't live without you type energy. Mm-hmm. But it looks like when one of you withdraws, the other of you chase. When the other of you withdraws, and that's when the other side gives a chase. And that seems to work. That seems how you guys fight for each other. They pick up on when you're pulling back, then they come towards you, and vice versa. And it looks like the makeup to breakup dynamic also happens too. It feels frustrating because it almost feels like you give just enough to both sides. Just enough to keep me here, but not enough to get anything off the ground. And it feels like that obstructive interference is not going anywhere. It feels like an intrinsic part of your connection, because these third-party situations at this point seem to be ingrained in your lifestyle and your survival and your peace. Like it's part of the well-oiled machine that's working. Preconditions that keep the walls up, that keep your love from coming together. The preconditions, one of you is especially safe with the boundaries that they put up. It keeps them safe, like they feel safe as far as their energy. So there seems to be concern about, you know what, also this deep inner knowing that the things that you like about me, the things you find so attractive about me, are the things that you want me to change. And so they're not changing because they know better. If I were to change, you're not going to be attracted to me anymore, and I'm not even going to recognize myself. Let's see. I'm not going to be attracted to myself anymore. This is saying, though, that there's definitely mutual loving energy potential to raise to a higher level of commitment and have the secure foundation. Moments, it shows like sometimes you're perfect. Your connection is perfect. There's absolutely no problem whatsoever. So how does a relationship that's so freaking perfect not come together and stay together? It's crazy, you know? How do you survive? How do you survive that? Oh my goodness. And it's just like the absence seems to make you fonder. You start missing each other. You got to come together. It's like, is this just the recipe for our relationship? Is this all that we have now? That's what it is. You get hungry, you want a taste, you need a taste, you need a pickup, you need a healing. You come, you get your healing, you get your cups full, more than your cups. Everything about you is adjusted in alignment and it's good. But then why do I need to battle this world on my own without you? Hmm? What in the HELL about those freaking walls? I get so freaking sick of it. But we explain the walls. And they miss you too. They're feeling good. That's self-preservation. They have to. That's what I'm reading in this dynamic. They have to. It makes so much sense, and it don't make sense too. I think it has to do with that karmic pattern. It's a repeated cycle. There's something in the pattern that's toxic. Here, it points to it right here. Speaking of, because there goes the death. Ten of Cups, Justice, and the Death. There's a toxic pattern. Something needs to change. Something very dynamic and something very hardwired, something deep. It's in the 8th house deep. And it freaking hurts. The freaking both of you. This misunderstanding all the time. It's like, why don't you just get me? You don't get me. You don't understand. Let's see. Let me clarify that. What's up with that? Five of Swords. Three of Swords, guys. You know, that's what I'm trying to freaking clarify. But I said it before. That's what I was feeling. It just clarified it. You see here? I'm trying to clarify the Five of Swords. Why is it hurting you? What do, you know? But the way I explained it and how I was picking it up is because they're hurting. You know, when you say stuff and you're hurt and you really want to just kiss, you want to come closer, you want to be close, you want to love, but you just say mean stuff or whatever it is that you say triggering thing. You break their heart. And the Two of Swords. So it's just like, why? That also creates dissonance too. That of course it's going to keep your person from coming close to you. But let me see. Because even before I begin to clarify, right? There goes the Ace of Fire. Somehow that toxicity too, it keeps pulling you guys closer. So what is that, guys? Is that a trauma bond? Or something about it brings you closer? And then it's the one thing that I noticed is the chase and the runner. That's what we were looking at too, right? You know what? But not anymore. For some reason, there's not the chase and the runner. Well, this person right here looks like they want to, but they look like they want to. But somebody is sitting very pretty in their element, and it tends to look like the one, but I can't say that you both, because this is mutual energy between the both of you. So yeah, the chase and runner dynamic, but this is even before the chase and the run even starts. And who knows, that might break the pattern. I don't, but we're looking at somebody who's in their element, in their energy, as the Empress right now. We're seeing Empress energy, but of course there's Emperor energy too. But remember how we were saying somebody's protecting their energy. They already know if they were to comply and to listen to whatever you're saying. And now we also have additional context to know that sometimes you say things just to hurt them instead of saying what you really want, what you really mean. You're just being hurtful. But they gotta protect their energy. Well, and that's what keeps you attractive to them anyways. They're pretty sure if they were to listen to you. Do people know that that's what they're doing when they do that? It's like, don't they know? They must know. I don't know, man. Shit. Like, you're being nasty, you're being mean. And if they were to really take you serious or let that energy penetrate them, they wouldn't even be the same person. You wouldn't even be interested in them anymore. What's up with that? Mm. Mm. A repeated cycle. And it looks like they block you out right on time. But again, it's mutual. You guys are doing that to each other. And that's part of it. What are you saying? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't know, guys. But that's how you're doing that to each other. That's how the pattern keeps repeating. Oh, that's in the twin flame. Okay, twin flame connections, I've come to learn, do that. Because it usually happens when, especially if one person doesn't realize it's a twin flame connection that they're in. They don't realize that. So when the mirroring starts happening, they don't understand how to interpret that, how to respond to it. They're not working with the energy. They usually work against the energy to continue the pattern. It's like a ping pong, but even more than a ping pong, something that's set up to always dun, 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 dun. It'll keep doing that until maybe you both realize it's a twin flame, it's a ping pong. You're mirroring each other, and not even intentionally. It's in the spirit. It's in that karmic pattern for whatever reason. It'll keep ping ponging that way. It seems to be able to transmute that energy and create change, especially when one person realizes this is happening. One person at times is enough. It is enough to start to change, but sometimes it can be still ineffective in the big picture because your person might not ever know. And what happens is, from my experience, is that it's not really healthy, because to help your connection stay less toxic or get less toxic and stay less toxic is absorbing the ping pong. So when they hit you with it, then you just neutralize it in yourself because you understand what's going on and you understand what they're doing. But that's still not healthy to you, and it's not fair to you, and they seem to never get it. And if you're dealing with an immature person that lacks empathy and compassion, it might change the dynamic in a worse way, where they get off on the toxicity, they get off on hurting you, they feel like they got away with it, or it's hard. Sorry guys, I don't know, I'm ranting and mumbling. That's what I'm getting. How will your person show up? I feel like they show up by showing up. They show up by trying. They show up for even trying. It's like that one song, and Beyonce's on my mind, so for whoever that annoys, I get it, but that song that says, it's like I never said yes. When I say no, it's like I never said yes. But that's trying to fight. That's what I got. So now We're moving into our last house, which is the 12th house, which is Pisces and Gemini connections. So let's see. Hey, Leon. Hi, everybody in the chat. Okay, I went way far with that, but oh, we have the High Priestess on the top of the deck. Ooh. Okay, and in this connection, I'm also picking up some division due to third-party situation. And again, it's looking like your person. It does suggest Gemini because this is Gemini's card. Is content with things the way that it is. They're content with the way that it is. There seems to be some heavy dissonance, some heavy pain and mental anguish in regard to this third party situation. And you know, they want marriage, they want change, they want a commitment, you know, and not the sneaky, the lies, the stringing along. They don't want that. So they're trying to hold their energy back from this connection that's not offering what they need in it. Looks like Pisces is exhibiting some mental anguish because of this third party situation. Let me see if I can get a clarifier there. Like, is this Pisces energy? I don't know. I'm not feeling. Is this Gemini's energy? Ooh, I felt something there. Anything else? Three of Swords. But what about these Four of Pentacles? Who's got the Four of Pentacles? Is Pisces with the Four of Pentacles? Is Gemini with the Four of Pentacles? Ooh, feels like. Ooh, yeah, felt like Gemini. King of Swords. Okay. So yeah, see, the the Page of Swords is Gemini's energy. King of Swords is Gemini's energy. Like this dynamic like that. Holding back from Pisces. One foot in, one foot out, on and off again. Okay. So that type of pattern in this connection is putting it through the Wheel of Fortune energy, the spin cycle, and also some emotional, causing some emotional disconnect energy to salvage their own energy as they pull back their own energy. Here's a Tower moment. Again, self-preservation, because they come out with the Nine of Cups going into the Tower, coming out with the Nine of Pentacles, the wish fulfillment, and there is some pain and some regret as so. Yeah, it looks like Gemini energy pulls back. Gemini energy moves forward to self preserve their energy from this chaotic energy that they feel is, it's not mutual. They feel like it looks like they're aware of some sort of vampiric energy, that like their energy, their essence is being drained in this connection. So they are pulling back their energy and moving forward to preserve themselves. And that gives the reason as to why, while Gemini's energy is walking away from the Pisces, looks like Pisces wants Gemini to come back and wonders if Gemini will come back and raise the connection to a higher level of commitment. They have this mentality ingrained in their minds, very hardwired. Ten of Fire, which brings it to the breaking point. Four of Cups, and having a lack of emotion. There's the love is leaving that connection. Walls have gone up, fighting and blockages in the connection. A lack of reciprocity, again, the self-preservation, and also wanting to keep future movements like more secretive too, because so it's like, I feel like Gemini also feels misunderstood by the Pisces, and feels like the way Pisces responds to what should be obvious about how this energy in the connection affects them, to the point where they have to pull back their energy and move out of the connection. And the fact that that type of response could happen, but then, forgive me, Pisces, this is not going to resonate with every Pisces at all. This particular Pisces seem to have completely missed the whole social cue of your person needing to pull back their energy, protect their energy, protect like their vital signs, everything they got going on, and walk away and emotionally disconnect, and how that transmutes to Pisces to get even more possessive, and to think that there's a chance that this connection could rise to a higher level of commitment is so out of context. And that's what seems to be had happened, and is out of context. And so your person begins to diminish further away to the best of their ability, because they're picking up on that misread, and it's concerning. High Priestess, Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Fire, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. But will they come back? It does look like they do come back. Temperance, King of Fire, Page, Lovers, Bird. Yeah, Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles. The walls go back up. Two of Cups, Ace. Three of Cups, 9, 5. Alright. So, but it does look like a reconciliation does happen. It continues to happen. It feels like it becomes part of the karmic pattern. And it also appears that Pisces evolves. Their energy becomes more refined. There's still some heartbreak in the course of things, because there is the making up to break up again. There's that pattern that's being established too. But it does look like that painful part of the pattern begins to diminish the more that I read further on into the reading. So that is good news, and I love it. And I was picking that up in other readings for Pisces too, because I remember when I think early on when I started doing this series, I seen a lot of chaotic energy around Pisces, and it was so concerning. And then the next time we did a reading, all the energy was very organized and very coherent, very sound and balanced. It was beautiful energy. And it was really obvious that Pisces was doing the work. You could tell. It even looked like a lot of spiritual work. I even signed off here and I thought about it even more, how beautiful it was, the major arcanas that came to play. So I would say, yeah, it looks like Pisces is doing a really great job at refining your energy, um, self adjusting, healing oneself, being aware even more so of your energy and your energetic environment and how it influences those around you, especially your love, your person. And it does, like I said, I do see them moving away and preserving themselves and their energy. Not sure, they weren't able to tell why, you know. All I could describe it as the vampiric energy. I don't even know if they seen it that way. Just energetically, that's what it looked like, for lack of better expression. But I just wanted to say here, and actually here's the hangman. This is Pisces energy. It's a major arcana. So you see, it was like a lot of major arcanas and dynamic energies showing up for Pisces to create this calm and to create this evolutionary refinement of their person. Looks like Pisces is actively learning really great life lessons and evolving in real time, being refined in real time, especially in this connection. Oh yeah, and I'm saying I see your person coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. It looks like a pattern that you guys have. But the good thing about it is it looks like the pattern improves and it improves and it improves, which is beautiful, because sometimes you'll see a pattern that repeats and it's toxic and it repeats in a toxic way and it doesn't seem to evolve. But here it looks like it's repeating in an evolutionary upward dynamic. All right, that's what I have for now. So again, I thank you for your patience, and I'll go ahead and sign off until next time. Peace.